All right, hello everybody. My name is Dylan Santos, and today I'm going to be presenting Connect with More Students. All right, so right here we have our problem statement. So the problem that we have here, and the problem that I saw here working at Grand Canyon University, is that online counselors are only being limited to doing outbound calls and getting very minimal live transfers. So with that said, having to mine within Microsoft, the CRM platform, makes it very difficult for an online counselor to get with someone on the phone. With the many leads that we have, it's mainly based off of just East Coast leads and leads even sometimes international. Compared to the leads that a ground counselor typically has, which is more so Arizona and the Southwest demographic. So this problem also affects the overall performance of a counselor, of an online counselor. So feelings of discouragement, decreased motivation, less engaged, and feel more stressed out due to the monthly goals that are set up on management and upper management. So moving towards our proposed solution and plan, we are looking into possibly integrating both inbound and outbound calls for the online counselors. The reason that this will improve Grand Canyon University's success as a whole is because they will be able to meet not only their monthly goals, but also gain more traction online within the Southwest region. So being able to connect with also the Southwest and also the East Coast also opens up much more responsibility. However, we see that in increasing employee engagement, meaning through actual more live transfers and things like that, will increase motivation for employees to be more happier, to be more productive, and overall increase performance in the long run. Being able to kind of in a way adopt the online, the ground campus's counselor model also will increase just the overall online community in the West as well. So you're kind of thinking, how is this plan going to benefit obviously the stakeholders, which have the most majority influence over the university? So the way that this plan is going to pretty much affect positively the university and all of their people of influence is through pretty much understanding their interests and what they are wanting to do with the university. So what that means is basically this plan aligns with all of their goals, all of the execs, the investors, upper and lower management, all the way down to the online counselors' goals. With that said, this plan does keep in mind the goal of enrollments that need to be met and expected on a monthly basis while keeping performance high. That is why we don't see many negative effects with this plan, because we are going to be opening up more towards the Southwest region through the inbound calls and things like that. We see it as more so bringing in the same or even more profits. It'll benefit the online counselors' overall performance and morale. And we see this as expanding Grand Canyon University's overall market share. So the timeline that we have here, it's going to be broken down pretty much over a year time span. With that said, pretty much it's going to be broken down into 3, 6 month, and a 12-month period. The reason it's set up this way is because this is typically how the GCU model is ran off right now. We don't want to confuse the online counselors. We want to enable them and have them be more capable at what they're doing right now. So in feeling more and having them adopt the same model, we feel that it's going to be more comfortable for the counselor to follow this model instead of integrating something very new, which will create confusion and be hopefully kind of take them off track, you know. So that's why we kind of see this as a good model. You know, it's simpler by sticking with it, and we can see that after the year mark, we can compare it to how it did the last year, you know, on a 3, 6, and a 12-month period. So the communication plan, the way it's going to be proposed towards the entire university, is going to be heavily emphasized on clarity and presentation. What that means is we will integrate meetings, trainings, all things that we are currently doing right now, but however it'll be more focused on the how the online community here at GCU will actually be more prepared, be more engaged, and have the tools and techniques ready to take all those inbound calls when it actually is in place. By executing it this way, we see it as not only as a professional model, but we see it as a proposal for a growth opportunity for the online counselor all the way up to the upper management. In conclusion, I see this as, from a personal perspective, that I see how the online things are ran on the GCU side, on the online side. I see this as a strategic proposal, kind of for the greater good of GCU and all the goals that GCU has set already. We see this as pretty much aligning with all the pillars of GCU. We don't see it as kind of going backwards. We see it as increase in demographics through inbound and outbound calls, which means more profits. It also benefits GCU on the GCU purpose to help out the community by opening up the inbound calls to, for example, reaching students here in the state of Arizona and places where they live about 100 or 150 miles away from here, and to having the opportunity to attend our school on the online campus. Lastly, in reiterating how the increase of engagement amongst employees and satisfaction of work is one of the biggest and one of the most important things to emphasize in corporate America. Lastly, this does not have to be a big investment into opening up leads within the Southwest region to give the counselors more calls, but more so, we see this going from a short span all the way down to a long-term commitment to see the exponential growth. So that is it for today, and thank you so much.